Going on, everybody? Today's video I'll be doing a very early power rankings for the 2024 season. Hopefully this list isn't god awful, but I'm seeing it the way it fits. Starting off at number 30, I've got the bottom of the food chain. It's what you guys expected, the Oakland Athletics, if they could be called that anymore, depending if they move stadiums and states. But to be honest, I highly doubt they will stay in Oakland. Their team sucks, manager sucks, stadium sucks, everything about this team sucks. They're just bad. Moving on from that monstrosity, we have the Colorado Rockies right next to the Oakland A's, except they are actually staying in Coors Field. Their stadium is a hitting frenzy, but their pitching is god awful with a team 5.67 ERA. They have good prospects in their farm system, with 5 of them on the top 100 list, but that is the foreseeable future. At number 28, I've got Kansas City Royals. They came in last in the division last year, and I don't see them coming much better or getting any significant players. They have a lot of young talent, but not enough to move on for a playoff push, even with the pitching they have coming from a team 5.17 ERA. They still have Salvador Perez holding at the fort and giving them the veteran presence, and Bobby Witt Jr., Drew Waters, and maybe more breakout prospects coming. Number 27, the Chicago White Sox are on my list, and they just all above are the most hesitant and weirdest team in baseball for not running out bases, just exploding whenever they need their chance to. They get away from the grips of Tony La Russa, but then they brought in another Tony La Russa. Their team hit a below average of 238, and their starting pitching was just a dumpster fire compared to 2021. At least being in a playoff spot, Dylan Cease lost his Cy Young potential and whiffed everything. Michael Kopech had an awful year, and their lineup has just been half-assing the whole season to begin with. Moving away from the 50-win teams, we move on to the 70-win teams, starting off with that being the Washington Nationals, ending their season at 71 and 91. Wasn't the greatest nor the worst. I give props to Dave Martinez for working with what he has after 2019, as their young stars haven't been developing too well, with Mackenzie Gore having a 4.42 ERA and Josiah Gray at 3.91. The hitting core is there, but with a bunch of young former top 100 prospects, they don't really have that push yet to get them over the edge back to playoff contention. I don't know where winter will take them, but they're pretty confident. Los Angeles Angels are my 25th pick to be disappointing again in the regular season, bringing their stars to life in my Trout, and that's it. I don't believe the Angels will be bringing back Ohtani back at all, since he wants to win and try. Artie Moreno won't sell the team, so he'll have to see where the offseason and the regular season takes them. They hired Ron Washington for their manager, so I think they'll be able to do so much and let Trout take some days off. But I feel bad for Trout knowing the Angels. I don't think they'll go far. And oh man, I feel so bad for Nolan Arenado. He came to this team to win and be in playoff contention, but the Cardinals have failed to do that. So they collectively hit a 250 and a 4.79 ERA, so more pitching and more reliable arms. At the time of recording this, there's nothing that came from the Cards, but we shall see what Waino final retiring, and it's just the glory day to be a Cardinal fan and see where the team goes. People may be upset about this, but hey, this is my hot take. I think the New York Mets are garbage. They stand for nothing, just like the Yankees. They lost DeGrom last year, Scherzer and Verlander, and lost everybody meaningful in their hopeful playoff push, besides Lindor, who is stuck in hell. The good thing for them right now is a new manager for the 3rd time with Carlos Mendoza, but they got nothing right now. That's a hot take if you want, or think whatever of it, but I genuinely see the Pittsburgh Pirates as a better team than the New York Mets. Derek Shelton leading the way with his experience with the Pirates. They have a young core, and I honestly hope they bring back Andrew McCutcheon, but we shall see. They were hot at the start of the season, but when everyone got settled in, slowly came down, but still beat out the Cards and Mets record-wise and winning percentage. Number 21, almost there to the teens, I've got the Cleveland Guardians, formerly known as the Indians, but apparently Chief Wahoo needs a break. They ended their season at 76-86, so I think if they sign the right people, they can really go far in the postseason with their new manager, Stephen Vogt. Yes, Stephen Vogt, his first shot as a manager. We will see how it goes. 20 and 19, they're kind of in the same boat with the same records, but except the Red Sox being at 20 and firing Chaim Bloom and losing Justin Turner, Chris Sale being Chris Sale, it must be a paradise to be in Boston. But hey, at least the Red Sox won 9-4 against the Yankees. Other than the Red Sox, the Detroit Tigers are at least trying to improve after Miggy retired, being my number 19. They traded for Mark Canha for Blake Holub, I think that's how you say his name, and AJ Hinch at the helm. They could make a push, but not merely make it far. They are getting there. They just need to add a few extra pieces to make it a reality. At number 18, I see the San Francisco Giants having a skittish year. A great first half, but then decided to take a nosedive, going 18-34 the rest of the second half, losing the wild card. The Giants can be a playoff team if they had played their cards right. They took Bob Melvin away from the Padres, having a record of 171-153 with the Padres, and I think it's a good choice for the young core of Giants, but I also think with Bob Melvin, it's iffy. I don't know. I personally would believe they get a good wildcard team if they can pick up the right guys. Only getting to the 80-win teams and getting smaller and smaller as we're staying in the West Coast. The San Diego Padres, they ended their season with a .500 record, but couldn't crack a wildcard spot as they lost, being 2 games back. They are a solid squad without Bob Melvin. Josh Hader's out the door, potentially Juan Soto being traded. Blake Snell, he wants to go make money somewhere else. At the time of recording this, they aren't on the Padres anymore, or at least Juan Soto is, but everybody else is out the door. They could do a lot without a manager, but that isn't willing to teach them. But the squad is really cocky and arrogant for no reason, and I don't think they are getting far. Scream at me all you want, Mets fans, but I do believe the Yankees are better than you without a doubt. So are you, Red Sox fans. Don't look at me like that. The Yankees definitely have some issues, but at least they finished .500. Being 7 games back of the wild card is definitely an odd year for the Bronx Bombers, but they need to do some shakes to the lineup, even their pitching. I honestly don't see Aaron Boone as the issue, even though he made some ballsy moves, but we'll see where it takes them. Miami Marlins came in at number 15. Yes, the Marlins did not even make past the first stage of the playoffs, but they still have fight in them. They can make it to the dance. They finished 84-78, making the wild card, but they need to add more to their staff and roster. Definitely need to fix those front office issues and even the entire roster. They are a ragtag group, but make it work in some ways. I don't know how they do it, but they just do it. Number 14, I've got the Toronto Blue Jays, and man, I thought they would at least put up a fight against the Twins in the wild card, but they did absolutely nothing except for Jose Barrios. That man was a stud back in Minnesota. They once again have a young squad, finding those a lot around here. Losing Kiermaier, Ryu, Chapman, they definitely could use a shakeup, whether it's managerial or lineup, pitching, anything. I think that the Blue Jays need to get it fixed, or at least make it worth their while for the fans. Seattle Mariners are just fueled with fire and are ready to seize their opportunity to get into the playoffs and make more chaos than the Blue Jays. Scott Service at the helm can lead the way for them, as once again they need to make a move or two to make the lineup and pitching more competitive. They are ready to make noise in October. Milwaukee Brewers put up a dumpster fire in the postseason, being swept in the wild card against the Diamondbacks. You don't really see that often. It's kind of weird. They need to take a step back and let someone else go to the dance, unless they pick up someone to help Devin Williams in the bullpen for carrying their whole season. Hell, even Corbin Burns. He was having a down year. Brandon Woodruff was out in the injury, and they just need to get out the kitchen if they can't handle it. They're getting juicy with these picks now, and it's hard to choose who's going to go where, but at number 11, I've got the Cincinnati Reds making it. They were just wanting a taste, just a lick of the playoffs. They want to seize it and make it to the dance, like Cinderella losing her shoe. They fell flat and stalled the last few weeks of the season, being 2 games back, but they were there. They were ready. The Cincinnati Reds want to be there. Finally, at number 10, same as the Reds, the Chicago Cubs want to make it back to the playoffs and get away from the Brewers' shame shadow. If they could bring back Bellinger, I would put them higher, or trade some pieces and acquire their stars. They are wanting back 2016. They are wanting to know. They are just wanting to go back to the World Series. They don't want to think 2016 was just a ruse. They just want to go back. At number 9, I've got the Philadelphia Phillies making it to the NLCS, but choking 4-3 over Arizona, and I'm not sure what the team will end up like. I'm not sure where they'll go, as I read it on Twitter officially that they would be moving on from Rhys Hoskins, so Bryce Harper will be playing first, losing an arm in an outfield, but obviously anything could happen this offseason. Maybe they get a new first baseman, Bryce goes back in the outfield. I'm honestly not sure where they keep Aaron Nola. I really don't know where they're going to go. Number 8, I've got the Tampa Bay Rays being absolute sluggers and buying this offseason. They want to keep making it to the dance. They want to fight. They want 2020 back. They don't want to move stadiums. They want to stay in St. Petersburg. They want to fight, and they want to go back to the World Series. They don't want to stop. Number 7, they wanted Houston, and they got Houston. They got the bull. The Minnesota Twins finally won a playoff series against the worst possible team to do so, the Blue Jays. Nothing really to write home about, but here's hoping they get Sonny Gray back or better. If not, they kind of are in deep trouble to help Pablo Lopez. But I've got them at number 7, and obviously we already know who the Twins are, and they can make it back. Here we go, Astros fans. I've got you guys at number 6, making it 7 games against Texas, and yet you managed to fumble the bag. I think we all know what needs to happen. Build around Verlander. Might help if you get one of those big free agent signings. Say it once and once only. As a Dodgers fan, it hurts. But even to put them in 5 is dishonesty. They need pitching. Simple as that. Can't just show up and get swept the whole time as someone you dominated every single year. Classic Hollywood. We'll say this about teams who are number 1 seed in the playoff. They never win. My point in case being the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. 104-win season with a ton of accolades, breaking records, massive stars, shining bright, and it couldn't come together in the playoffs the one time it needed to. I don't even think they did anything wrong. They just simply got beat with the momentum of the Phillies. Better luck in the next year coming. I think some people saw this coming, but I wasn't sure. The Orioles are blind. They are wanting the gold. The Orioles are wanting blood and got a taste of it. They got their taste of playoffs and want to build it after their first 100-win season in franchise history. And 9 years in the making for this team to finally come out of tanking to make it, they're wanting it. They're wanting to come out. But they got swept by Texas. They're fiending. They want it all. Let Birdland out of the cage. I mean, come on. Nobody saw the Diamondbacks even making it to the World Series this year, but it just shows you how baseball is a mystery sport. It makes little kids smile and grown men yell at the top of their lungs. We all know what time it is. The D-backs are buyers. Time to take down LA. We all expected the Rangers at number 1. Winners of the World Series, wanting to keep their title, beating Houston. It's everything a baseball fan wanted. Congrats on the Rangers. We all know they want to be back, play next year. And they want the gold. They want to reign and compete all over again. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't be afraid to subscribe. It's free. Don't worry about it. It's alright. Please leave a like, comment if you got any questions about my playoff predictions or anything like that, free agencies. Leave a question, leave a comment. Hope you guys enjoyed.